I recently purchased this new Windsor and set about customizing it. My first order of business was to install a camera, a headlight, and a taillight on this bike and also my wife's bike. To that end, I purchased and installed rear bike rack boxes, $10 each, where I installed batteries and microprocessors. Of course, they're used to store other items such as tire repair equipment. Here I'll focus on just my bike. Now, if I were to install these components normally, I would have to turn each one on and off individually. And to make matters worse, many headlights and taillights these days come with those maddening multiple function switches where you have to hit the tactile switch multiple times between the on and off positions. In fact, the headlight-taillight combinations I chose require 5 clicks between on and off. So if I were to install the camera, the headlights, and the taillights normally, between turning them on and turning them off, it would require a total of 12 strokes, 2 for the camera and 5 each for headlight and taillight. Not acceptable. I wanted to be able to turn everything on with 1 stroke and turn everything off with 1 more stroke, or very nearly. I was able to keep the cost around $75 per bike. So I purchased these 2 $25 dash cams, tossed the suction cups, coupled up an aluminum mount, and mounted them upside down. Then I purchased these headlight-taillight combos, 2 pair for about $23 total. I really liked the form factor of these lights, but they were going to need a bit of modification for my needs. As much as I liked the lights themselves, I would never use the mounts they come with. You're supposed to use these rubber mounts stretched around the handlebar. I've never seen any kind of stretch mount that doesn't eventually fail if it is left indefinitely in a stretched condition. They also come with a clip mount. Again, I would never use these things, simply not a good, dependable, secure mount. So I was happy to see that the clip mount is secured with a single screw. Disconnected it and tossed it in the round file. The plastic case is held together with 4 screws. I removed the screws and the back plate to get at the battery and the PCB, which contains the circuitry and the LEDs, and removed them both. With the battery removed, there's plenty of room for a couple of small mounting screws. Getting back to the rear-mounted box, I installed a 10,000 milliamp hour battery in a small plastic case that contains an Arduino Uno microprocessor, a voltage regulator, and 2 small relays. More on that later. On the headlight, here you can see I used 1/8" aluminum for the camera mount, but 1/16 for the headlight mount, which is easily bent for proper up and down adjustment. The bike rack came with a tab on the back that I was able to easily mount the taillight to. In case you're unfamiliar with how these multi-function lights work, you can see one in action here before I modified it. This image shows the push-on, push-off switch on the left. For normal daytime operation, I wanted the 4th function for both headlight and taillight, which is blink twice, pause, blink twice, etc. Hitting the switch once turns on the camera and turns on the lights and selects the 4th function for both. I seldom ever write at night, but just in case, the switch on the right is a momentary on switch. If I hold it down just before I turn the system on with the left switch, the headlight turns on steady. This image is my attempt to show how I modified the PCBs to use 1, the power source in the rack box for all 3 devices, and 2, how I remoted the mode selection switch. I found that the way they designed it, all you have to do is make those 2 pins common momentarily to page through each of the modes. This image shows the complete schematic for the entire system, and this image shows the microprocessor, the voltage regulator, and the 2 relays. This is a snippet from the Arduino sketch showing the respective loops for the headlight and taillight operations. Next, I demonstrate turning the system on and off for daytime use, and then again for nighttime use.